everyone, it's Bethany. In this video, I am going to show you how I created some laminated die cut stickers with my Cricut machine. So I used my Cricut Explore Air 2. These were really pretty easy and simple to create, and I'm going to show you step by step how you can do them too. Okay, so to create my stickers, I used an app on my iPad that I purchased, and the app is called Procreate. It's really a lot of fun, and I used this app to draw my stickers. So I'm brand new to this, so I'm slowly learning, but I actually found that it is very user-friendly. So I've had a lot of fun creating a variety of stickers that I wanted to make personally. So I'm just going to be making some stickers for personal use. So once I actually made the 8 stickers that I wanted to use for this little collection, what I did was I exported my stickers as a PNG, and then I airdropped them to my desktop. And from there, I just imported them into Design Space, where we will go next for the next part of our tutorial. So coming up, I'm also going to share what materials I am going to use to create my stickers. And it's actually really easy, and it's pretty fun to do. So let's go ahead and head into Design Space, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do from there.
Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, where I have imported all of my stickers that, again, I have exported from Procreate on my iPad. So how I imported them was I went over to Upload, and then I said Upload Image, and then I located the image on my desktop, and then I went ahead and uploaded it into Design Space. If you need help learning how to do that, I'll place a link to a tutorial that I have done on how to upload images into Cricut Design Space. So from there, you just click on the images that you want to upload, and then you will say Insert Images into your canvas. So I have my images already ready to go. And what I'll do really quickly is I'm going to select my canvas right down at the bottom right hand, and I am going to change my canvas color just to another color so that you can see the outline of my stickers. So my stickers all have a white border or outline around them, which is really nice. I created that in Procreate as well, and it's helpful to have a nice healthy outline around your stickers, just to have a nice and clean cut for your Cricuts to cut out on, and it makes for a nice smooth sticker. So when doing print then cut with the Cricut, it does have a size restriction of 6.75 by 9.25. So what I like to do is I like to come over to shapes, I grab a square, and then I'll bring this over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to the back, and then I'm just going to make this a gray color just so you can really see it. But I'm going to go ahead and unlock this and make it a custom size of 6.75 by 9.25, which again, as a reminder, is the size restriction for print then cut. And then I place that behind my stickers just to make sure I am within my size restriction, because I want to make sure that I can fit as many stickers on my sheet as possible. So for this one, I originally had it this way. Of course, that's not going to fit. So what you can do is just rotate your stickers around so that you can get the most use out of your piece of sticker paper. It's a really great way to make sure you're not wasting material. So I love using that box just as a visual to help me get everything sized and in a good layout so that everything cuts accordingly, and I use the most of my sticker paper that I can. For the size of my stickers, I have a variety of sizes, and I size them anywhere between 2 inches and 3 inches. Of course, sizing is a personal preference, so you can size them up or down depending on what you're going for. So now that I have everything sized and I have them placed where I want them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and come over, and I'm going to hide this square or rectangle now, and I'm going to just click the eye to hide that because I don't need that any longer. But I do want my Cricut to place all the stickers where I have them right here, because I worked really hard to make sure everything fit within the size limitations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to say attach. So attaching is going to make sure that my Cricut places them exactly how I've arranged them on the screen. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Explore Air 2 selected right up here, and I'm going to say make it. It then places my design in the exact layout that I had it in the canvas. So what I can do next is say continue, and then I'm going to send my images to the printer. So I'll say send to printer, and now I'll load my sticker paper into my printer to get printing. I'll have details on my printer and all the materials that I'm using in the description box below the video. But what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to turn the bleed off, because I already have a white border around my stickers, so the bleed isn't going to make a difference prints here. And then what I'm going to do is I will say print. Now, before you put your sticker paper in, I recommend printing this out on paper first, just to make sure that all of your colors are printing like you expect them to, and make sure everything's printing in general like you want it to. It's a lot easier to test on cheap printer paper than it is to test on expensive sticker paper. So do a couple test prints, make sure everything's working, and then load your sticker paper in and do your final print. So I'll go ahead, I've already done my testing, so I'm gonna go ahead and load my sticker paper into my printer, and then I will select print. Once my design has printed out on the sticker paper, I'm going to set my dial on my Cricut Explore Air 2 to Poster Board Plus. And now let's go ahead and switch to the overhead camera, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to get my stickers all laminated before I send them to be cut in the Cricut.
Okay, so my designs have printed out on my sticker paper, and the sticker paper that I am using is the Online Labels Weatherproof Matte for Inkjet. Again, I'll place all the links to all the materials I'm using in the description box below. But also, I want to mention one thing that I found was really helpful in terms of advice is to make sure that you test out what kind of sticker paper works best with your printer and what kind of sticker paper works best for your needs. So don't just take my word for it. This is what I liked, and it ended up working good for what I'm using mine for. So, but be sure you always are testing out products for yourself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my little sticker paper on my Cricut mat. I'm going to get that lined up in that upper left hand corner, and you'll notice there's a black box around my sticker. You want to make sure that you keep that on because that's your registration box, and that's how your Cricut's going to know where your designs are located within the box. So your Cricut's actually going to scan that box with a little flashlight looking thing you'll see when you insert it into your Cricut, but make sure that box is on there. So I just like to make sure mine is really flat. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use these self-adhesive laminating sheets, and I'm going to place a clear laminating sheet over my sticker paper before it cuts out. So this is just going to provide an extra barrier, extra protection, give it some extra thickness, and make it even more durable. So if you'll notice, my laminating sheet is bigger than my sticker paper, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that my laminating sheet only goes on my sticker area and it doesn't cover the actual black lines. So if it does cover the black lines, your Cricut will have a really hard time reading it because usually there will be a glare and it just has a really difficult time, and so it will have an error and it won't actually be able to complete the cut. I've heard that if you accidentally get some of the laminating sheet over your line that you can place a matte tape over there and it will help read it, but I actually tried that and it didn't work for me. Now I do have a lot of filming lights surrounding me, so that might have not helped with the glare, but for me the tape trick did not work. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I cut a piece of this that is exactly the size of the inside of my sticker sheet. That way it will not have any problems reading, but also because it will also save material. I don't like the idea of just sticking a bunch of material on here that I'm not going to use, because I like to save as much material as I can. So that's the route that I'm going to go. I'm going to go ahead and just get it all measured out and trimmed, and then I will show you how I place it over my sticker paper. One of the helpful things about this laminating sheet is that it has the grid lines on the back, so it really makes it easy to get everything all measured out so that you can make the cut. So I just locate which line is the closest, and then I will go ahead and trim it down on my sheet. Okay, so this is the part that actually stresses me out the most, and it takes a little bit of practice. My first time around, I did awful at it and I had so many bubbles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my laminating sheet. Now there is a little peel at the top, so make sure when you are doing your cuts to size it for your sticker paper that you don't cut up that top part, because it's really, really helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and take that top part, and let me zoom you in so you can really see how I'm going to get this on. Okay, so again, I have just a little bit of the laminate exposed. Hopefully you can see that. It might be easier if I put it over here, but there's a little lip that is exposed. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up with my stickers. And again, being careful not to get any of it on the black registration box. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that top little part down. And then what I can do is, this is already stuck on there. Now once it sticks on there, it is on there. So you want to make sure that you get it right the first time, because there's no peeling it up. It will just rip your sticker. So then I like to bring mine to the side, and then I will go ahead and pull all of it up. And then I just like to slowly start peeling up the laminate. And then this, I wish I had like 2 more arms because it would make all of this much easier, but I just go nice and slow, and I use my little squeegee scraper tool to slowly start getting it laid down really, really nice and even. So I just go slow, a little by a little bit, and I have found that for me, now of course everybody works differently, and you may be a lot better at this part than I am, but for me, I find that this is the easiest and most manageable, but again, you can do whichever you would like. Okay, so I'm continuing to just continue to peel and scrape down. I got a little bit of a crease in my laminate right here, but I am still learning how to do this, and I'm just making these for myself, so I am very forgiving. You'll of course want to perfect this over time, but it'll be all just fine. So I actually did pretty good, minus a little bit of crease, and luckily it's not on my actual sticker part, but I might maybe even get a little of that forgiven in with my scraper here. Okay, so now that that is all ready to go, I am ready to get my stickers cut out. Okay, so now I'm going to load my mat into my machine, and then when the little Cricut button flashes, I can go ahead and press cut. One thing you really want to make sure that you do before you do a print then cut project is you want to make sure your machine is calibrated. I'll place a link to a tutorial up in the right hand corner, but calibration just helps the accuracy of your machine. It makes sure that your machine is cutting really, really accurately. So you want to make sure you calibrate before you do a print then cut project such as this one. Okay, so it is done cutting. So now I can go ahead and unload my mat, and I can close my machine. And then you want to be careful when you're removing your stickers. So I like to turn my mat upside down, and I just like to slowly peel away my paper from my mat, but being really, really careful. So being really, really careful because it can peel away your actual backing of your sticker. So just be really careful. You could probably also use your light grip blue mat. That would probably be a really good option for this too, because the standard grip has quite a bit of stick to it. But I'm just going to slowly, slowly bend and peel away my stickers. And I'm focusing on bending my mat instead of my stickers so that my stickers stay really, really nice and straight. You could also probably use your spatula tool, but I like using this method, and they're just popping right off. I'm really happy with the cut on the Poster Board Plus. I tried Poster Board, just the plain Poster Board setting for my first go around, and I'll show you an example of what it did because I wasn't necessarily happy with how it cut. Okay, so here are my final stickers. I'm so happy. Look at how nicely they cut out. Really nice crisp cuts on that Poster Board Plus setting. I'll show you that on the Poster Board setting, I had a lot of fringe or pieces around the edge where it cut mostly, just not quite all the way through, so the cut was just not as clean, and hopefully you can see there's just some fuzzy around the border. So what I did was I didn't want to waste all of those stickers because they're still great stickers, but I went ahead and just took my scissors for that regular setting, the regular Poster Board setting, and I just trimmed up the edges. But once you use the Poster Board Plus setting, that eliminates that problem, and the cut is so clean, so nice, and that makes it a lot quicker. Of course, I personally think that all machines can operate a little bit differently, so I always recommend doing your own testing, own research on what materials and what settings work best for you. But I definitely found the Poster Board Plus to be the best for me. So I love how these turned out. This one says Jesus and coffee. I love that. And then he over me, word over world, which I really liked. I did a little bit of I think it was a wet acrylic brush, I want to say. I'm still learning the brushes in Procreate, but that was super fun. And then I love this, God is bigger than my highs and my lows. I did a coffee cup, a little rainbow, and then a little open Bible. So I love how these turned out. I can't decide what I want to do with some of them. I know I want to put some on some notebooks that I do for Bible study. I think they would also look really, really cute on my Cricut machine, so I might do that as well. If you are intending to sell these, I would recommend that you do your own testing for waterproofness, I guess. So I would recommend you do your own testing and see how long they last for being underwater or being washed. As always, I always just recommend doing your own testing to make sure you are happy with how they are holding up and how they are turning out. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you did. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe to see what is coming to my craft channel next. All right, everyone, I'll see you in the next video.